morning and welcome to the VSA Morning Miner. It's Thursday, the 11th of September. I'm joined by Paul Rankin. Paul, how are you today?
Pretty well, thank you. Pretty well.
Excellent. Few bits of news out. Let's start with the bigger companies. There's an update from Barrick and a proposed sale of the Hemlo mine and funding from Wheaton.
Yes, that's right. Barrick Mining intending to sell off the Hemlo underground gold mine to a firm called Carcetti Capital, which is to be renamed Hemlo Mining. The deal is for $1 billion essentially, and Wheaton Precious Metals intends to provide stream financing to support that, which includes a $400 million gold stream, as well as participation commitment in a $415 million equity financing. There would also be $200 million worth of bank debt incorporated into the deal as well. That gold stream would be something on the order of $50 million or so, or about 20% of the equity financing of the in the proposed deal. Just to point out to investors that this would further separate Barrick from what is not their intention, and that is to actually grow their number of Canadian operating assets, according to the long-term stated intent of the CEO, Mark Bristow. But Hemlo was one of their smaller production operations, both higher cost and more mature as well. So it's a good price to get for legacy non-core, or what would be considered more non-core assets for Barrick for sure.
It certainly continues the M&A trend and smaller assets passing on to the next tier of mining companies, and hopefully we will see that continue to move down into more active M&A for the juniors.
That's right.
On a slightly different topic, there's been quite a major infrastructure deal in Mozambique.
Yes, it includes Mozambique, Malawi, and Zambia. The Japanese have announced they intent to put about $9 billion worth of logistics funding into the Nacala corridor, carrying rail between Zambia through Malawi and into Mozambique to the port of Nacala. And that is specifically to help support what is Strategic Minerals and Rio Tinto's Kasaya rutile project in Malawi, with significant enough transport infrastructure to move that rutile. It is a world-class deposit by no stretch of the imagination, but it does need modern rail facilities of sufficient scale and capability in order to maximize its best returns, both for the companies but for the three nations involved in that corridor as well.
And reinforcing the tangible investments that countries are now making, having infrastructure investments having been dominated by China in Africa for the last couple of decades, with a recognition that these infrastructure deals are linked to securing supply of critical minerals.
Yes, and Japan obviously wouldn't participate unless they expected to get some proportion of that rutile, I would say.
Yeah, and Japan probably, the most active country in terms of its critical minerals companies. It's got large trading houses, large mining companies which haven't stepped back from being involved in mining and trading.
Yes, that's right. And they've done so for decades, actually, to support earlier stage exploration toward that ultimate feeder of critical materials into Japan
Hmm.
via the JOGMEC subsidiary.
And then moving to the UK, we've got a couple of updates from the Southwest, updates from both Strategic Minerals and Cornish Metals this morning.
Yes, that's right. First off, Cornish Metals gave us an update on the underground activities toward refurbishment and scaling in order to reopen the South Crofty mine. They are dismantling the old North Winder, for instance, and putting in a new building facility for that as part of the process there at South Crofty. And then in the case of the other company in the Redmore project, that is an update as well, which showing further progress there. I would have to say too that this kind of progress on hard metal mines has to be supportive of any other players, such as Tamar Minerals. If we Because we're in the environment now where, or the market environment now, where early stage drilling results will end up helping support share price movement. So I hope very positive for both firms.
Yeah, I mean, the readout tungsten prices are now at sort of $525, $550 an MTU, but we are hearing reports of bids that are as high as sort of 700, as the market in China is so tight. So this is certainly the time to be getting out there in the tungsten space. And there's definitely a pickup in regional activity across all of the projects in the southwest UK.
Right, and in the cases of the companies mentioned, it's copper and zinc as well as tungsten in this for them specifically.
Yeah, indeed. I think we'll call it a day there, Paul. Thanks very much for your thoughts.
All right, thanks. Uh-huh.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.